Hi there folks, it's Handmade by Shirley here. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry I've not been about for a wee while, but I have been under the weather. I lost a bit of my crafty mojo as well, but I'm back now. So I'm going to come on and do something that's similar to sun prints or cyanotype. So I had a class this morning with some ladies in my craft space, and this is the sort of thing we were doing. So this was the results, and we made them into cards. They weren't all like this. These are my designs, but that was the effect you'll get. So using white ink against the blue card gives a really nice kind of sun print cyanotype effect. So I'm going to do two small cards in this video. One I'm going to stamp, and the other one I've got this die cut, which would give you a similar technique if you wanted to use die cuts instead of the ink. But I thought that the ink was more adept to the printing technique that is used in cyanotype. So we'll start. So I'm going to start with the one that is the die cut. So this is just a die cut, any die cut. You could use anything, foliage, but usually when people are doing sun prints, cyanotype printing, it's usually pressed flowers and foliage. Not always pressed, but more than likely it is. So they're flat and they give the good impression onto the back of the paper. So I will be coming on with some actual cyanotype printing at some point because it's something that I'm really interested in. So I'm looking to be doing some on a video at some point. But this is going to give you a similar kind of look, well, I think anyway, and technique. So perhaps you could use it, and it's very effective when you see it done. So I've just popped some wet glue on the back of that, and I'm just going to have this coming from the bottom of the card. And then I am going to add a little bit of ink to this one because I want to add something else in the background. So as I say, it was this Whisper White white ink from Stampin'Up. I'm sure you can get it with other companies, but that was just what I have at the minute in my stock. So we used it this morning and it worked a treat. So you can use any kind of, as I say, white ink from any brand. So there's a couple of little sort of background stamps in this retired stamp set from Stampin'Up, bubbles and a sort of dotty pattern. There's also some little butterflies. So I think I'm going to use some of the dotty one. I've already got it on my block, and I'm just going to do it the same way as you would any other ink pad. Just tap, 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 so you get ink on, and then we're just going to come in round this die cut image. That's just to give it a bit more texture in the background, and if you go over it, that doesn't really matter. We just want a little bit more texture. I can pop that up here as well. It's not going to stamp as easy because obviously the die cut's in place, so it's not going to stamp as well. But if you just do this technique, just press a bit harder, and that just gives a bit of a wee outline like so. And then I'm going to come in with the little butterfly, and it's going to be this one here. I'm just going to add that, just the one. I'm not going to put any more. I'm just going to hover it above here, as if the butterfly is coming down to land on this particular floral here. So just lift that up, tap, 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 and press down. And there we go. So that's the similar thing using a die cut. And we'll just pop that over to the side just to dry. We'll pop it onto a card after. So I've got another piece here, and this I'm going to do in full ink. So I've got another couple of stamps as well. I've got this one, which is a very old Stampin'Up Daisy Delight, which I thought I might use because it's got some nice long stem type bits on it as well. So I thought that might be quite nice. So just get this long stem. I'll just get a block. And I'll just pop that onto there, pick it up, and then go to my craft ink or my white ink. So don't push your your block into the ink, because you'll end up with ink everywhere. Just always try and remember to tap, tap, tap. And if you're bringing the ink pad to the stamp, it's the same thing. Just tap, 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 because you don't want it everywhere. So we're just going to do this. I'm just wondering if I can do it this way. Yeah, I'm going to do it landscape this time. And I'm just going to come slightly off the edge of the card, just a bit. So on there. So that's quite pretty. Just always check you've got, so I'm going to do it different heights. So I'm going to come up a bit here. So just always check that you've got enough ink onto your, so you didn't have quite enough there, but that's okay. And tap, tap, tap again. And I'm going to go down a bit. There we go. And that's fine. We'll leave that like that just now. And we have, let me see. Now we have this smaller piece of grass, which I'm going to put in between these bits. So put that on and just do the same. Tap, tap, tap. Make sure every bit's covered. And then I'm going to just come in between like that. And just, there we go. And then one more in between. Okay, and that, I think that looks nice. Put this back as well. And then I've got these pieces that stick onto there. So I'm going to put these in as well. I don't think I had it on that one. So just line these up if you've got this particular set. And that's it. Just line them up again, like so. One more. There we go. That's looking good. And then I just want to add one of the florals. So I think I'm going to add this one here. So let's get that onto my block. That's going to come in nicely, just on there. So pick that up, pop it onto your white ink again, and then just line it up with the top here. Press. There we go. And that's looking good. press, and one more. I'm going to do it slightly to the side, and there we go. And that's really pretty. I think that's really, really pretty. So I'm going to do two greetings for the fronts of these cards. I'm going to leave that one just like that. I'm not going to add any more dottage or anything. I'm just going to leave as is, I think. Although I did see a tiny little flower there, which is really pretty. But I think I'm just going to leave it just now. So I'm going to use this sentiment, "Your thoughtfulness brightened my day," as well on this one. So I think that's it, yes. So what I want to do here is I need to pop it on there just now, and then I need to get another piece of blue card. Now these are just bits that were in my bin, but I can use this side because what I want to actually do, or perhaps for this one I don't need to actually have an extra bit. No, I think I will. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to use my punch. I believe this is the tailored punch. So I'm going to use that for that one. And I'm going to use another piece of paper. Okay, I can get another one with this one. So just for things like that, use your offcuts. So these are both for the sentiments to go onto. So I shall bring this one back as well, so I can just do them both at the same time. So you want to stamp onto these pieces, and you want to then cut. Then I'm going to punch out another two pieces in white, and do that one, and then get another one here in white. Just not quite did that properly. I've got some extra pieces of card always on the desk, so let's just get another piece of card here. So I'll just do that, and then we can add the sentiments and pop them onto card bases, which I've got here at the side as well. Just pop that over to the side there. So I've got this stamp, and I want to try and make sure it's straight, so I'm going to just try and straighten it up a bit because it was a bit wonky looking there. So yeah, I think that's not that it particularly matters, but so just tapping again into that white ink and making sure that that's covered, and then just bring this piece up that's going to be the label, and then just hover over and then pop down. Oh, didn't quite work, so we might have to do that again on this piece, and then I'll need to cut another piece. So mistake there, hold for a wee bit longer in the middle. Yeah, that's better. So the next thing to do is leave that one to dry, because as I said, it takes a lot longer to dry, and while we're waiting on that, we can cut this piece of white up the middle, because I want to have a sort of layer for that. So that's that one, and then we can cut a wee layer for the next one. I'm just thinking maybe it would just be better without label, but no, I'll just cut this up the middle. So you'll see what I'm going to do in a minute. I probably know already. Right, so I'm going to look for something else. So for for my other blue one, I could have Wishing You a Wonderful Birthday, which is already actually on a block ready. But I need to get another piece of blue card that I can use to cut. I'm just raking through my bucket at the minute because I'm using some of the old cuts. But I don't think there's any bits left, so let's see. We might have to use a new piece. I think we're going to have to use a new piece. So I'll just get a wee piece of card here. And I'll just cut into that again with that nice blue. So we've got this one called Wishing You a Wonderful Birthday. So let's just tap that onto there, make sure it's covered, and then we can add that. Hold for a few seconds, make sure it's going to sink into the paper, and there we go, we've got a nice image. Now I always wash off my stamps after I've done it because I feel that that's better for me, because if I don't, I'll forget, and I think it's just a way of keeping your stamps nice and clean. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do our sentiments with some wet glue. So that one was not one. So the reason why I cut these bits of white in half is because we're going to use a wee matte layer at the back of each of these. So what I would do here is just add some glue to the back of the blue one, like so. And then I add my little layer and I turn it round, and I just, because I've used the wet glue, I can just wiggle it into place with a tiny wee border. Oh, not done that very well. So don't do that, just take your time if you do this particular type of matte lettering. And just put some more glue onto the back there, like that, and just turn it round and then maneuver it into place. And because the top one's really got a tiny bit, I'm just going to maneuver it more like that, and then that can go on there. And we have got a bit of a smudge going on there, but that's because it's not dried, and that's what I mean about it takes a wee while to dry. So just be mindful of that if you're using the white craft glue, and that's not the best, but it'll work. So I'm just going to pop that onto my card front. So just wherever you decide, depending on what design you have done. I'm going to do it here. Like so. And then this one, it's going to be the same. Just put some glue on the back here. Quickly turn it around. Try not to get glue everywhere. Move it about until you're happy. Same with this piece here. Turn it around. Move it into place. Oh. That's it. And then just pop that onto your card front. see where it would look. I think it would look better here. I know it's slightly over the die cut, but that doesn't matter. It all adds to the effect. There we go, and that is our fronts. So we just need some card bases, which we've got here. So I've got a couple of card bases here. We can pop this one onto the front. And this one here. And it does really give a great effect. I think it's really lovely. It's really stunning, especially against white. I think it looks really nice indeed. So we'll just pop these onto the card bases. I mean, you can use any stamps you like. You could use anything at all. But usually you see sun prints that are more florals or foliage, but I did see one that I was looking at, and it was an old photograph that somebody had managed to get a print off, and it looked really good. So, you know, you can just really use anything that you want to. I just like florals, so that's why I used the florals. And as I say, this is a similar thing you could do. You could cut out white die cuts and then just place them on as if it was the sun print as well, using that type of technique. Manoeuvring that into a bit of a better position. Just turn it over for a wee burnish on that side. Same for this. And then all that I want to add is just a few wee gems. You don't have to do this tall because, you know, it looks nice just as it is. So you don't really need to add anything to it. But, I've got some nice wee light or blue colour here. I thought I might add to it. Just usually probably on the bits I've smudged. So like there and there, just to kind of hide that. As well, and I don't know if there's any really on that. What I might do is get the much smaller wee tiny gems here and just put a few around that one, just in and about there. See where it would work. Let's just do it down there. Oh, that didn't stick. It stuck to me, but not the card. And just pop that on. There we go. And that is my projects. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that you might do something similar, or try it, or share it with your friends who might enjoy doing something like this. And thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye for now.